Man has hunted since the beginning of time. What began with crude weapons and animal images scrawled on cave walls has developed into a multi-million-dollar industry. From the Tilton Hiltons to the mansions in the marsh, we hunt and we cook. Everything from rabbits and raccoons to deer and ducks, while learning about the passion of sportsmen through the ages. Man's love affair with hunting is really not about the kill, but how to prepare a sumptuous wild game banquet after the hunt. Now get that camouflage apron and join me, Chef John Folse, for another Taste of Louisiana.
Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.
Bobby Lonero, y'all in the New Orleans Express. Give him another big hand there, huh? All right, huh? Hey, everybody, thank you so much for joining me in Sportsman's Paradise today for yet another edition of A Taste of Louisiana. It's so nice to have all of you here in the studio with us today, as well as all of you out there in television land. I wish you were here with us because today we're cooking alligator. We needed some help here. I wish you were here. Isn't that good, huh? Yeah, absolutely. That was mighty weak. That's all I can say. You said alligator, what? Our kitchen musicians, Bobby Lonero and the New Orleans Express. Let's give them another hand, huh? Y'all, today we're cooking alligator. Yes, for those of you who have the misfortune of living on the other side of the Pearl and Sabine Rivers or north of Shreveport, Louisiana has gators. Yeah, Louisiana has alligators. I didn't know if you knew that or not. The population is thriving. And what else are we going to do with these oversized lizards? Then throw them into a cast iron pot, right? That's what we're going to eat them, right? Remember one thing, remember our creed here in Louisiana, we eat anything before it eats us. Let's go on a gator hunt, y'all. Come on. As a native Louisianian, I'm often asked by outsiders if there's a lot of alligators in Louisiana and if I cook them and eat them. Well, I say, of course we do. Swamp dwellers who live deep in the Chapalaya Basin made their living from the land.
Well, the ones that hunt alligators actually do fishing, crawfishing, and everything else that goes with it.
Still, most can't imagine that it was not until the early 1880s that alligators were commercially harvested for their skins. Commercial tanning processes in New York and Europe made the skin soft and durable so they could be made into footwear and saddles. Although alligator hunting was a profitable enterprise, it was extremely dangerous work. Wild alligators are still hunted, processed, and commercially sold here in Louisiana. They were placed on the endangered species list in 1967 because of overhunting by market hunters and habitat loss. But by 1987, because of the efforts of wildlife agencies, alligator populations grew dramatically and the reptile could once again be hunted. Today in Louisiana, we have between 1 and 2 million alligators in the wild. Annually, during September, more than 33,000 wild alligators are harvested.
The season starts on that first Wednesday in September and continues until the last week of September.
The 30-day wild season generally produces a harvest worth more than $10 million for raw meat and hides. By 1986, Louisiana had a growing alligator farming industry.
They have about 16 alligator farms in Louisiana. You know, they spread out throughout the state.
Today, 150,000 farm-raised alligators are harvested annually at a value exceeding $12 million.
And we process somewhere around 500,000 pounds of alligator meat a year. So, you know, we probably process a couple of 100,000 alligators.
Alligator is categorized as a fish when it comes to processing and sale. Commercial alligator hunters make a great living from harvesting this reptile. And alligator meat, well, there's absolutely nothing better fried, fricasseed, or braised into that rich and spicy sauce piquante. Bon appetit, y'all.
Love to hear the gator go.
All right. Oh, I tell you, Bobby, y'all something. Let me hear an alligator sound back here. We have a couple of great guests sitting right here at the kitchen table. First of all, you saw just now, Sydnie made Durand right here at the front, huh? Thank you so much for being here, Sydnie. Not only one of the great women alligator hunters of Louisiana, but right next to her, passing the tradition down to our granddaughter, Whitney Durand, right next to her, huh? I'm going to ask Whitney in a little while. Whitney, when you see your boyfriend or some guy comes up to you and says, you know, you doing anything this weekend? You said, yeah, I'm alligator hunting. Sisters, that'll keep them straight, won't it, huh? You better believe it. I think so. Anyway, and y'all, Tab Pitre, one of the great wholesalers of furs and alligator hides. Nice to have you on the thing. And then, of course, a guy who's going to do a little cooking with me in a minute, Bob Lambert, is here at the kitchen counter as well. Nice to have all of you. Nice. Now, before I get into my alligator sauce piquante. Oh, yeah, you with me? Oh, yeah, you say sauce piquante, you get fired up, huh? You say bourbon whiskey or sauce piquante, everybody goes crazy, right? Take a look at this little alligator here. This is a whole alligator, including the tail. Whitney's used to this. This is nothing to it. What's this, about 7-month-old alligator? I wasn't afraid of this little 7-month-old alligator when I wrestled him. But then his daddy came. Then his daddy came, and I turned this one over to Whitney. You know what I mean, Whitney, huh? Anyway, there it is. Look at the size of that thing, and look, this is the tooth that I got out of it when I took it down. Anyway, we're going to talk a little bit about women in alligator hunting, and what does the men in your family say about it? That's the question we're going to ask, okay? But let's talk about the sauce piquante first. Sauce piquante from the French word piquant, hot and spicy. And naturally, look at all the habanero peppers, the cayenne peppers, all of these wonderful flavors. But first of all, take a look at how beautiful the white meat of this gator is. It's just really magnificent and adapts well to so many great flavors. How many of you have had alligator in the last couple of days at home? You mean there's hundreds of you in here, and none of you have cooked a little mess of gator? Well, you're lucky today. So let me tell you what I have. I've seasoned this alligator nicely with a little salt, a little pepper like that, a little granulated garlic, a little hot sauce that fires up the gator. Right there. Oh, yeah. Yeah, now you're talking. Onion, celery, bell pepper, slivered garlic. Look at that right here. Oh, yeah, a lot of garlic. And not only rotel, the tomatoes with the hot, spicy little jalapenos in it, but an extra quarter cup of jalapenos. We want to spice this thing up, huh? Okay, so let's take a look at my pot right here, because I have some already going in the dark brown roux. I have some of the alligator already simmering. You can smell that roux? Oh, I tell you what. I used to love to put a little dab of roux behind my ears before a date. Oh, yeah, a little dab of roux behind your ears and take on off. I tell you what, no telling what's going to happen that night, huh? What you cooking back in there? Okay, so with that, y'all, you ready to go on in with a couple of things? What about the rotels? We'll go in with that. Oh yeah, right there. Now, Sydnie May over here. Let me. How does? What was the reason for you, first of all, getting into alligator hunting yourself?
I was training a dog.
You were training a dog.
I was training a dog to hunt.
And the dog disappeared.
And
huh?
I was in a rice field.
Yeah.
And I threw the dummy. Not you.
Thank you, huh? I have been referred to as the dummy before, yeah. How you think I got this job? Who else would do that?
I was teasing.
Go ahead.
But anyway, when I threw the dummy, my dog went for it, and an alligator came after it.
Yeah, and you realized
Right.
you had alligators on the property.
Well, that's right. I mean, and they have people, fishing the alligators. And when wildlife fishery came, they said that I needed to hunt them.
And get them off. So how many alligators now? I realize that wildlife and fisheries come out and they give tags, those yellow tags you have right there, typical of the tags that they give you for the number of gators you can take off of your land. So how many did you take off last year?
Last year I didn't take any off because the price was $7 a pound.
So you decided to sit back.
Foot. And so I decided to sit out last year.
Yeah.
But this year I'm going to be in.
So how many tags do you have this year? Do you know yet?
It's every 500 acres you get a tag.
Oh, okay. Well,
and so I get 7 or 8 tags.
Now, Whitney, how did you decide that this is something you wanted to do? When I look at you, the first thing I think about is probably not an alligator hunter. I look at Whitney and I say, this can't be an alligator hunter, huh? How did you get into it?
She asked me to go with her one time, and then I just...
And you, like a dummy, went.
And she came back.
No, that's great. And she was just telling me you wrote a whole report on alligator hunting now that you're an expert at it, gone with your grandmother, and you took top honors in it, right? That was fantastic. So how many gators have you personally caught? 1, 10?
8 or 10.
Like maybe 8 or 10.
8 or 10. This little kid, 8 or 10. Okay. Well, normally a beautiful young girl like this, you'd be wondered about, knocking on the door and Dad being there to look you over once or twice. But an alligator hunting girl? No. You don't have to worry about that, huh? Okay, y'all, so we have the sauce piquante gone with the onion, celery, bell pepper, and all of that in, all the hot. I'm going to put a little stock in. This is beef stock. You can use chicken stock. And really, this is all about allowing the alligator, which is slightly tougher meat, depending on what cut you get, whether it's the leg meat or the tail meat. The filet it does have filet mignon. The longer it cooks, the better flavor it gets, but it's a very mild flavor that adapts very well to the sauce. So, and this is what it looks like. Take a look at this. This is what it looks like when it's all said and done. Take a look at this platter. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Oh, yeah. See that? See that, Whitney? Huh?
Good, Whitney.
Huh?
Looks good.
Y'all, just a couple of weeks ago, I had the pleasure of going to Bob Lambert's wonderful camp off of I-10 going to New Orleans, and he and I fried alligator tail. Take a look at this. Bob, it's great to be back at LaBranche Hunting Camp, and this is homemade cherry bounce, right?
Right.
Oh, here, gotta take a sip. Oh, is it homemade? It's fantastic. Y'all, I'm here at LaBranche Hunting Camp, as I said, with my good friend Bob Lambert. And now everybody knows where this camp is because of its location. Why don't you tell them where it is?
It's due north of the town of Norco. It's adjacent to the Interstate 10 on the east side of the Monetary Rod and Gun Club.
and let me tell them where that is. When you're going to the airport and you're crossing the spillway here, you always see the camp right over to the right if you're coming from Baton Rouge to New Orleans, and that's this camp. Now, it's a hunting camp, a fishing camp. Y'all do a lot of cooking, obviously, here as well, right?
Yes, there are 40 members
here,
and most of us enjoy doing the fishing.
Now, this camp was founded in 1945?
Yes.
1945. Now, we talk about hunting. There's about we mentioned there's about 700, 800 acres that y'all actually do alligator, you have 14 or 15 tags. We were looking at the hooks a minute ago that you catch alligators with. So you have about 700-800 acres that y'all actually do alligator fishing, which the number of alligators you can take off of the land is decided by Wildlife and Fisheries based on the number of acres you have plus the population of the alligators, right?
Right.
Is that the way they do it?
Yeah. It's primarily body acreage.
And what's the season?
From September, around the first part of September, and it runs for about a month or so.
Well, good. Well, listen, I have some alligator here, and alligator meat, most people would be shocked to see just how nice and white it is. It's a beautiful meat, and the flavor is pretty neutral, huh? Because
right. It's whatever you cook it with, that it'll assume the taste.
Right, and I'm going to do a little marinade. I have some water, some red wine vinegar. I'm going to put a little oil in here. Bob, why don't you get me those onions right there? It's all chopped. You can throw them right in here. Throw them right in the bowl. You can just drop them all in there. And I'm going to put some basil and some tarragon, thyme. You can put whatever you want, some peppercorns. And then I take the alligator and I go right into the bowl like this, and I'm going to just let it sit 24 hours, and it's going to really tenderize and pick up all that great flavor. And y'all, I have some already done right here. It's already marinated after 24 hours. Bob, why don't you hold that for a minute? And I'm going to make my egg wash here. I have whipped eggs. I'm going to put a little cream in there. I'm going to put some salt. I'm going to put some pepper and get all of that done. And I'll take a handful and go into the egg wash like this, kind of stir it around just to coat the outside of it. And do you fry normally when y'all do alligator? Do you use fish fry, flour? What do y'all normally use?
I'd rather use fish fry.
The fish fry like I'm doing here. So I'm going to stir it in this nice fish fry that's seasoned with salt, pepper, and granulated garlic. I'm going to go down into the hot oil at 375 degrees. And it only takes a minute, and the marinade has really made it nice and tender. And Bob, the alligator fries up nicely, very quickly. It fries beautifully. And look at this alligator tail here. This is where that beautiful white meat comes from. Absolutely spectacular. And look, this is what it looks like when it's done. Just the way you fry alligator all during the season. It's right there on the platter. All right. All right. Bobby Lonero over there. We're over at, I know everybody, we mentioned going to New Orleans and seeing that camp over into kind of the marshlands off to the right of the interstate if you're going down toward New Orleans. Bob, people must be fascinated when they find out, because everybody knows the location of that camp, and they must be fascinated when you say, yeah, that's my camp right there. What did they say, invite us over or what?
Well, yes, it is my camp. The building has been there since the early 1900s. We bought it from the Illinois Central in 1948 and has been active ever since then. There's 40 members. Each of us have a personal bed in there. It's used more frequently today than it's ever been used before.
Well, there's always a big crowd, and there's always a lot of cooking going on over there as well. There's always a lot of activity you can see.
Most definitely, and we do all the Cajun cuisine.
Good eating, y'all. I went over there and ate the best sausage po' boy I think I've ate in my life. But I did what most courteous Louisianians would do for two reasons. I didn't ask what type of sausage. Number one, I didn't care. Number two, I didn't dare want to know. Anyway, thank you so much, Bob. Let's take a look at this alligator again, y'all, because I want you to know that alligator meat comes in different. Of course, here's the big tail meat with the two huge loins right here. And that little piece of muscle right there is what you get those nice scallopinis of alligator out of. Here's the leg meat, which you can buy nowadays. They deep fry wonderfully, just like almost fried chicken. You would think it would be a chicken leg. I guess everything tastes like chicken, though, huh? Chicken tastes like alligator, actually. So, but anyway, the front legs and the back legs, you can see the difference in them. And, of course, available in retail markets now throughout Louisiana. Here's that nice big fillet of meat. You can see how nice and white and tender this would be, all boneless. So it's really great for stewing and fricasseing and all that wonderful stuff. Y'all ready to make an alligator chili? Huh? Yeah. I started to say a minute ago, it's the perfect thing for tailgating, but nobody got it, huh? Okay. Okay, y'all, we're going to jump into the cast iron pot here again. You notice I'm cooking in cast iron. I love to cook in cast iron. It retains the heat so beautifully. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at the board. Here's the alligator meat again. You should be intrigued when you see how beautifully white and light and nice this meat is. You should probably think to yourself, this is something I want to eat, right? Huh? No, you don't. No, you don't, huh? Let's try that again, huh? Yeah, once you eat it, you want to try it again. Okay, so I have some of the meat already diced up in my pot here, and I'm browning it really beautiful. Isn't that nice? See that? Alligator popcorn here, y'all. Alligator, look at it. So I have the meat browning. I have onion, celery, bell pepper, garlic. Most great Louisiana dishes begin that way, especially if you're going to braise it in a liquid. The hot peppers are going in it. This is the habaneros, the cayennes, the tabascos, the jalapenos. You with me? Chili needs to be hot. Huh? Why? Because, sisters, you don't know this, but they started to laugh without even knowing what I was going to say. Because they say, we're sisters. We know. Believe me, huh? Drink a lot of beer with chili. Huh? That's, you see? I see a couple of you saying, yeah. That's what. All right. So little jalapenos down in here. And then, of course, the onion, celery, bell pepper. Now, y'all, I have with me here Tab Pitre, one of the great wholesalers of hides. And, of course, I have a hide here. I want everybody to look at that huge hide across the front that's already, I think it's salted, right, Tab?
Yes,
Tell us about that hide.
It's a hide we picked up a couple of weeks ago from somebody had this alligator in their backyard. And you call the wildlife and fishery, and they send somebody out to catch it. And that's one of them.
And so that's what happened. Somebody calls and says, hey, y'all got 12-foot gator in the yard. Would y'all mind coming and picking it up? And then 5 minutes later, these two show up. Huh? Where is he? Where is he? Huh? Tab from Galliano, right? Huh? Galliano, yes, Louisiana. Sir. Now, where's your customer base for all of these hides and furs that you wholesale?
We go all over the world, all over the state of Louisiana. We in Plaquemines Parish, Houma, all over.
So you're picking up hides and furs from trappers,
yes,
collecting them, yes, salting them, baling them, and then selling them to people who will further process them, right? Because I see you have a lot of boots and. Yes. And now somebody told me the other day if I was going to buy a pair of alligator boots, I should not get the belly skin. I should get the, what do they call it? The
hornback.
The hornback.
Yeah, you see, this is the hornback right here.
That's the hornback right here.
This is the hornback. You see, this is the belly, kind of. Yeah. You see? Yeah,
they said bellies was for sissies. Get a good tight shot of this. This is the hornback right here. See that with all these nice, and this, man, whose boots are these? Huh?
Used.
No, that's good. But anyway, so your market's all over the world, and then they're turning this into apparel, and so that's fantastic. So pretty lucrative business, I would suspect, right? And y'all, my jewelry today is from Tab Pitre. See my jewelry here, my alligator tooth. This is it right here. Isn't this beautiful? Perfect anniversary gifts, guys. All right, so I have that in. Now you ready? I've got all my peppers, my onions. I'm going in with my pinto beans right here. I'm going to go in with the tomatoes. Y'all with me? You follow me on the chili? Okay, a little bit green onions, a little bit parsley, and then, of course, the flavor. Chili powder, a lot of it, and cumin. Oh, yeah. The pepper's already in. Whew, can you smell it? I tell you, I can. And the garlic, I can smell the garlic. I'm going to let this cook here for about, I guess, again, 15, 20, 30 minutes. If you're tailgating at one of the stadiums, this could cook all afternoon, and people will walk by. What you cooking? Alligator. And the crowds will just build. And then at kickoff, there's nobody in the stands. They're all like this. They're all in the pot. Anyway, this is what it looks like when it's done. Y'all take a look at this right here. This nice big bowl of chili. And I'm going to dip deep down. Oh, yeah, huh? And look where I'm going with it. Right on top of the pasta. You see that? The perfect dish for an Italian. or Cajun Italian, I guess. Huh? They would love this. Or a Cajun who married an Italian. This is it right here. Anyway, y'all, that's the way I would serve it. And alligator, it's available in the stores. It's a wonderful meat. The hides, of course, you can buy it in boots and in other fashions. I want to thank my 2 women alligator hunters for being here with us today. I want to thank you 2 guys as well. And I want to thank all of you for joining us in the swamps of Louisiana. And remember that man's love affair with hunting is not about the kill or the skill. It's all about the fabulous feast after the hunt. We'll see you next time right here on the Taste of Louisiana. Bye-bye!
To purchase the After the Hunt cookbook by Chef John Folse, an After the Hunt t-shirt or program DVD, call the number on your screen. Funding for After the Hunt with Chef John Folse is brought to you by the Baton Rouge Area Convention and Visitors Bureau. Day is dawning on the Mississippi River and the sun is shining on Baton Rouge. Attractions, shopping, food, and Southern hospitality you know and love. Go BR and go brighter. And the Foundation for Excellence in Louisiana Public Broadcasting. Our mission is to tell Louisiana's story to the world. And by the Louisiana Department of Culture, Recreation, and Tourism. Vacation planning guides are available at louisianatravel.com. You wait all year for your vacation. Don't sleep through it.